This right here is my favorite part of Northfield, my favorite room at Northfield. What's behind me is the kind of atrium to the school, which is kind of this whole area, but specifically behind me is kind of where students go back and forth between their lockers and the hallway back here. There's classrooms across the hall, but it's a bustle of energy in between classes. If you sat in a chair right here and you looked this direction for 5 minutes in between classes, you would hear discussions about the great books. You would hear discussions about trigonometry and algebra. You would hear discussions about Shakespeare. They're discussing what they've been talking about and discussing in classes, and it's all converging and being thrown around right here in this little entryway. And then they take all of those viewpoints that they just kind of threw together again, and they all go their separate ways with maybe, just a tiny bit more of enlightenment that they gained right here. And then they all go to their different classes, and then they, again participate in the great conversation in their classrooms.
One of the more important parts of Northfield is the great conversation. We are part of the continuing great conversation that spans time. The great conversation really has no point of beginning, and the only end that it will have is when the truth is fully and accurately known. And in between the beginning that we can't find and the end that we won't reach, we are obliged to talk to one another. We are obliged in humility to say what we think, to bring forward those things we see and those things we have thought and those things that we now believe.